So, hi, Mike. Nice to see you.
Hi, Gordon.
I see that we've just shut the doors to ISE London, and so this must be your first interview with any press. I'm covering on behalf of rAVe. I did the show because Gary and Steph couldn't get over, and it was a real shame. Obviously, you couldn't, but seemed like a decent event. So, do you have any idea of the numbers for the show
Yes, I
yet,
do.
Mike?
Firstly, you're right. You are the first interview. So you caught me. It's Thursday. Sorry, where are we? Friday morning. So
Yeah.
we closed the doors last night, and I was tied up yesterday. So you were the first person to catch me. So
There you go.
very early. We had just under 1,000 people, unique visitors coming in yesterday, and day before in total. We put this event through as a networking, bringing the industry back together. When we actually started getting our companies together, some of the key players there, like Barco and Panasonic and Lang, etc., said, we can't present and space like this how we really would love to, as we do in ISE, but we really want to be there. And the key factor is we want to meet up with our customers again. We're missing that. So we pitched the whole event to be about reconnecting, getting people back together, getting these meetings. And we were really impressed with the people who came, the amount of networking that happened. As you know, we had the pub there. Thanks to Paddy for coming up with the name Evolution. Great name. And we think people enjoyed it. It was what came very clearly that AV Brits love to have a drink. So we said, okay, come on, let's put a bar in there. The feedback has been fantastic. As you rightly said, I couldn't make it. I was praying every day that something's going to change overnight, and I was ready to jump on the first plane over. But restrictions for both myself and Gary were that certainly here, coming to London, I'd have to do 10 days quarantine, and then coming back to Germany, I'd have to do 14 days quarantine. And doing almost a month of quarantine didn't really appeal to me. Didn't seem very practical.
Yeah, sorry, go on, Mike.
And we have a very, very competent team of people in the UK. We have some contractors that we work with on a regular basis who came in to lend a hand and help us put this together. And I'm pleased with what I saw. I'm pleased with what I hear. I've seen on the social media. I've had people contact me and saying, wow, this really was needed. In absence of being able to have an ISE, in absence of being able to meet, in absence of being able to see our customers, we really wanted to have something like this to get back together.
Yeah, and I think that certainly came out. As you know, I was doing some filming on behalf of Gary and Steph, who had a similar problem to yourself. And there was a good reaction from the exhibitors, and we interviewed some attendees, and the networking portion of it certainly seemed very busy, especially on the Wednesday. In terms of the digital side, Mike, how did that go? That was obviously a new kind of aspect to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have been shoehorned into doing digital. We see ourselves as an organization that creates and delivers in-person events. And, we've focused our activities on that. But, seeing what was happening with COVID, we realized in the end, okay, we need to do something different and a way to connect and bring our community together. What we've seen is that, yes, there is a place for digital. It's not going to be the be all and end all for what we do, but it will be part of what we're doing. Because, we realized in the past, we always had people who didn't make the show, weren't able to get there for whatever reason. And this gives us an opportunity to reach out to them and an opportunity for them to actually see what's going on and maybe connect with the exhibitors. The majority was created at the beginning of the month and was shown live from Barcelona. It's been running ever since. We have all the content that's been made during the beginning of the month with exhibitors online, on demand. We have taken some of the content from the London event, which will also go online, and we're running that through till the end of the year. So there's still a chance to catch up and see what was going on, see some of the presentations, connect on the exhibitor channels, and see what they're presenting there as well. We had about 8,000 people through so far on our digital, and we expect quite a few more in the next weeks and months.
Okay, so and that's interesting. And what's the feedback from the manufacturers? They've generally been supportive. Are they happy with obviously everything that's gone on, or?
Yeah, absolutely. And, we've tried to make something different out of it. As you may know, we work together with Cisco, and they created a platform that, they and we like to try and describe it a little bit like Netflix, where, you see what's happening now, you see all the different channels, and you can choose what you want to look at and focus. And it's not just one thing being presented at one time.
Yeah.
Everyone has the opportunity really just to see what they want to see. For as long as they want to see it. So if they want to binge and watch ISE Digital for a couple of days, they can do that as well.
Okay. And in terms of that approach then with ISE 2022, how's the response been from manufacturers in bookings? And are you planning on doing something similar, hybrid, digital? What's your plans for 2022?
So we already started rebooking for ISE 2022. We started the week before last. So far, we've had just under 600 companies that we've reached and have rebooked already for ISE 22. And the space they've taken represents about 47,000 square meters net. Last year's ISE, the last event in Amsterdam, was 55,000 net square meters. So, it's a substantial amount of the original floor space. We still have about 400 companies to still talk to, and that will be happening over the next weeks and months. And we're very confident. The response so far has been really, really good. There's very much an eagerness from the industry to get back together, to be back at a show, and to support the ISE real start in Barcelona.
Yeah, and we certainly saw that in the interviews from the attendees that we spoke to and the brands in the London event. I can't speak for Barcelona, but for London, the last 2 days there was a lot of network going on around there. I also look forward to Infocom because I think that hopefully by then we'll all be allowed, and hopefully the governments will have seen it. It's been obviously such a difficult time. But hopefully, if the science keeps up with the variants, we can get to a point where we can manage this almost like a flu jab. And as the vaccinations go up, we'll be able to travel again. So
what is definitely encouraging and good to see when you look at the pure numbers, whilst in some places, including the UK, some of the numbers are going up with new variants, but you see the fatalities going down. So, that's encouraging. And I hope it continues in this way, that we see the vaccine really, taking traction, and that, as you say, it'll just be a flu jab in the future. Let's keep our fingers crossed that it goes in that direction.
Definitely. And so obviously Avixa's running the Infocom show in October. What other plans? Have you got any other live events planned at the moment, Mike?
We've got our Digital Signage Summit, DSS Europe. That will take place at the end of September in Munich, in its usual home. Okay. Again, we've had a very encouraging start to that. As you know, the original plan for our regional events was to actually also do. We were going to start in Barcelona. We had trucks organized to bring everything from Barcelona to Munich, and then from Munich up to Amsterdam, and Amsterdam to London. Unfortunately, because of the situation at the time, we had to actually cancel the Munich and Amsterdam events. Result is, a lot of those companies who were disappointed that we couldn't do Munich have said, well, we want to support the DSS event. So we've already started the rebooking on that, and that's looking very encouraging. So that'll be the end of September in Munich at the airport, as has been previously. In terms of other regional events in the future, I think that's a very valid question. We've seen that our industry wants to network, our industry wants to get together. Why not? I mean, certainly we need to look at this, and it's a consideration. We want to do some surveys, we want to do some research with both our exhibitors and attendees to get a feeling, and let's look at it. I'm not dispensing it.
Yeah. No, certainly. Well, listen, I really appreciate you giving up your time first thing after the show's shut. I've no doubt that there's an awful lot of clearing up that goes, once we all walk out the door. And congratulations to you and your team for putting on a great event in London. We certainly enjoyed covering it on behalf of rAVe, and we certainly, on a personal level, enjoyed being able to reconnect with our customers and our colleagues. It was great fun, and let's see who wins the football on Tuesday night, because obviously England, Germany, you've got a foot in each camp there, Mike.
Yes,
So,
yes, I have, and it's going to be. I mean, I think usually it's been a fight with my family, and on things like this. But now I can be on both sides, and yeah, I'm neutral at the moment. So let's see.
There you go.
Thank you for being there. Thank you for your support.
No, that's great, and it's never bad when you can't lose, as if you got a foot in each camp. Mike, thanks for your time, and no doubt we'll speak again soon.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye bye.